Welcome back to another episode of Redline Repairs, and today we're working on the Expedition again. Now, I had a horrible noise going when it was running after I got home from work, and I could tell it sounded like a pulley, so I went and checked it out. Now, first thing you're going to want to do that I already did before I thought about making the video, grab your 1/2-inch drive ratchet, and I use a shorter one because it is tough to get down in there. I move this upper radiator hose out of the way. You get right down in here. There's a square on the tensioner, and you're going to push it. It's going to push the tensioner, the end of the arm, down. It's going to relieve pressure off your belt so you can take it off and test to see if it's your tensioner or idler. I spun, here's my one idler, which looks pretty rough, but I spun that and it's smooth. At least not horrible. Here's the tensioner. You can see the play in it. You can hear it. That thing is shot. Next thing you're going to want to do is grab your 3/8 drive 10mm. Take off those 10mm bolts right there. 1, 2, and 3. After you get these 3 bolts out here, dropped one on the ground. There's your tensioner. Yeah, look at that. That thing is shot. Barely even turns. Quick note, if you do not have this belt diagram, I mean, here it is for you here, but if you have to, draw one out. Do not forget the belt routing. So, after you get it out, you're going to go ahead. I got the new pulley on because what happened was, long story short, I needed the Expedition, and it's winter time. I'm not driving the Mustang, so I went to the Mustang. It actually has the exact same tensioner, so I swapped with those. But this is the one off the Mustang, so I'm going to show you anyways. There's the new pulley on it. Now, that is a 13, I believe. Yep, 13mm socket. You can get it loose on the bench. It's not going to take that loose. Just pull your old pulley off, put the new one on, throw it back in the car with your 3 10mm bolts. I got to upload this video for the Mustang too. Now, what I did was move this coolant bottle right here. It's just 2 8mm bolts. Pick that up. Actually move it a fair amount out of your way there so you can get right in there, and you can see here's a real good look at where that tensioner goes. Fit in right there. Now, a good thing to do now is look at your belt diagram that you made, and you'll see that it's the same way in the Expedition. I messed up on the Expedition, so I knew enough now. Just put these 10mm bolts in, just spin them in just enough to get them caught. Now, what happens is when you put it on, the belt is actually in front of it, and really it has to go behind it the way it routes, because it runs up here underneath this idler pulley up to the alternator. And obviously now, you can't do it. So that now with this loose, I can pull it out and I can tuck that belt back behind there. Now you can probably see now what I mean, because this is the way that the belt runs down and around, back up to the alternator. So you actually have to get both parts. If you put it on in front of the belt, you actually have to get both parts right here and here behind the pulley. It's got to go around the other side of it. And hopefully this will just save you a headache, because what I did was tighten them all down on the Expedition and went, ah, crap. Now I have to pull them back out and slip the belt back around. Now we got the 3 bolts tightened up. When you tighten them, be careful. Do not over tighten them. You don't want to strip those threads out. I'm not sure, but that may be aluminum that they're going into, so it could be really easy to strip it out. Make sure your belt is free. You didn't pinch it behind there when you tighten it up or anything like that. make sure the rest of it's run properly, and then in the pulleys, grooves are where the grooves are, you know, smooth where it's supposed to be smooth. And then once you're all ready, we'll put the 1/2-inch drive ratchet in here, and we'll put the belt back on. Okay, so you'll put your 1/2-inch drive ratchet in, and you're going to want to be pushing down. See, it fits right in there. And then we're going to push it down with one hand, and then slide this belt back up onto the alternator with the other. So here we go. Let's see if we can film it. There we go. Make sure everything is in the grooves. I mean, chances are it'll probably seat itself if it's not exact, but you know, just try to do it right. Now, like I said, I finished this up on the Mustang, so we'll throw our coolant bottle back in with our two 8mm. Make sure this hose is set back in there, and we'll make sure it fires up. All right, let's fire it up. Come back one more time, take a look, make sure everything's spinning the way it should be, nice and smooth. There you have it, there's the tensioner. Alright, just wanted to say sorry jumping back and forth between vehicles, because, you know, like I said earlier, I stole the tensioner from the Mustang to put it on the Expedition because I needed it, blah blah blah. But anywho, I got a new idler pulley for the Expedition. So I decided to change that because the other one that you saw earlier in the video was not looking the best, and I changed the opposite side about 2 years ago, so I figured it was a couple bucks, and getting it shipped with the tensioner, why not? So we're going to tackle that, and I will show you how to do that. It's going to be similar to the tensioner, so this way you'll kind of see what you know, wrapping it up at the end there. So down there's the idler pulley we're going to be changing. You can see on the other side, it's the same thing. I did that one, oh, there's the alternator. I did that one about a year or two ago. So like I said, I'm going to swap this one because why not? Now what I do is I grab this upper radiator hose, and I just put it on the other side of that bracket, nice and easy there. It gives you a little more room to work in there. Now I would advise breaking this pulley loose while the belt is still on. 13mm socket, you only need your 3/8 drive there. There we go. That's loose now. And that's all you want to do. Just that little bit. Socket stuck, we'll leave it there until we loosen up the belt there. Same thing again, you're probably sick of hearing me saying it, but got the square and the tensioner down there. We're going to do the same thing with the ratchet that we did earlier. Now if you're doing this all in one shot, which I would definitely recommend, you'll only be doing this once. So we're going to push down, and we're going to slide the belt right off the idler pulley. Now I just slid it like it's like halfway off, if you can see, but the bolt is, it's only finger tight, so you know there's no tension on it, so we can take that right out and it's not going to be a problem. Well, I'm glad I decided to do this actually, because this is starting to go. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the video, but you see it's actually kind of grabbing a little bit. See it like jumping as I spin it, and you can hear it. That's actually on its way out, so it's a good thing I did get the new one. By the way, I did have to take a little more tension off that belt as I pulled the pulley off. So you probably have to do that. Grab your new one. Here's the front. Here's the back. It's gonna go just like this. Right onto there. So now this car, there's actually not very much tension on that idler pulley. So earlier when I said about cracking the bolt and leave it like that, now this is just assuming, because there wasn't much tension on mine, you should be able to back that bolt all the way out. Just make sure it's loose by hand, because that pulley rides on something else there, and it's not gonna that's gonna hold it. So the bolt is basically just holding it against the engine so it doesn't float off. So you should be able to take that right out and then push on your tensioner down here, release the belt tension, and pull that pulley off all in one shot. So now that we got the new pulley on and the belt is on, just thread this back in, tighten it up, and we should be good to go. You can see how it's just going in by hand there. It sits, like I said, it sits on, there's a mount on there. The inside of it sits on where the bearings are. So once you got it on, remember, don't overkill it. Tight enough is tight enough. Make sure your belt is all routed the way it should be. And let's start it up. There we go. As you can see, everything's running smoothly as it should be. If this video helped you out in any way, do me a favor, hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what I could have done differently, how you would have done it, if it helped you out. Till next time.